We got Ludacris coming in. You going to help us out with Ludacris?
What do you need?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I know he's in Max Payne.
Oh, he's in the new Max Payne.
Yeah, we like the Max Payne, but, you know.
That Pac-Man Jones fight happened, it was either at it, right after one of his parties or at it.
Oh, really?
Ludacris?
Yeah, I think so.
Ludacris is what they call a renaissance man in hip-hop now. He's He's not, I don't know if he's as high as Jay-Z, but he's about there. He's a mogul. And I think he's trying to retire from hip-hop. He's getting to that point. I think.
He's a good actor.
All right. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Patrice O'Neal in studio. And Chris Ludacris Bridges has made his way into the studio.
Yes.
You want people to start calling you Chris, right?
Man, you know, for the movies, of course, Chris Bridges. Ludacris is a character within himself, so, you know, every movie part, I don't want to be like, hey, that's Ludacris.
Yeah.
So, of course, you know, we just making sure we're keeping it all the way professional around there.
That means he's retiring from rap.
Nah, that's not.
It's gone. It's done.
He's fading out the Ludacris.
Oh, it's over.
He's fading that out.
I Am Legend 2, Jack. It's coming.
A year from now, it's going to be Chris Bridges.
Out of here, Jack.
Nah, man. I actually have an album coming out November 25th, so album number 6, man. I'm loving it. I'm still loving doing both, so we just balancing the two out.
Start doing any movies where you're in SUVs with a bunch of kids going across the country or something like that.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Get a little RV action?
Yeah, something like that.
Don't do that, please.
I know. I'm messing with it.
Keep your edge.
Real stops once you make a few mil.
Is that
Like, all of that just is. Let me ask you a question, Chris. Am I going to say Chris or Ludacris?
It don't matter.
I know you as Ludacris. I'm just gonna be
It's all good, man. You can call me Luda.
What is the thing? Because I'm sure you grew up, hood. What is the thing that since you've been successful in the world that you go, man, I would have never thought I'd be deeply into this? Where you go, boy, I would have called me a sellout.
Oh,
Do you understand? No. Listen to me. I eat, coming from where I'm from, eating raw fish, sushi. I try to get my friends to eat sushi, and they just look at me.
I see what you're saying.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, where you go, like you get your toes done, or you do something where you go, oh, man, what am I doing?
I definitely never thought I would be as bougie as, like you're saying, like eating certain foods and stuff like that. Things that I never thought I'd like. Sushi is definitely one of them. Yeah. But, yeah, I feel you on that. But, I mean, one thing that I sit there and say I've always wanted, and I go down my driveway in Atlanta, Georgia every time, and just like, thank God, it's like 22 acres of land, 15,000 square feet of house. And that just kind of like blows my mind every time. I mean, every time I go down my driveway. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. We were talking about the election, and me and Patrice constantly at odds on this whole thing. It seems to be more class against class on this thing. Now you've obviously made a few bucks. We've been blessed to have made a few dollars, and it seems like we're going to be the people that might take the brunt of this tax hit if Obama gets.
What is this? What is this tricky white way into leading him to be us? Why don't you ask him what he thinks before you say, "Hey,
because I'm not putting color
I'm not going to let you.
Patrice,
I'm not going to let you do this."
He's got an angle. I like that. I like Anthony's angle.
I'll tell you like this, man. But I see where you're going with it, man.
Sure.
My thing is that everybody gets out there and votes and just makes their voice heard for the next 4 years of our lives. That's what's extremely important.
Do you want to pay more taxes?
Do I want to pay more taxes? I don't think anyone
tells me when you're writing that check, you feel a lot like me. That handshakes.
I don't think anyone wants to pay more taxes, man. But of course, we all play a very big part in trying to, change our lives for the better. So, whatever we have to do in order to make that happen, everybody's going to have to make sacrifices, basically, is what I'm saying. It's just about sacrifices.
Which means that says right there, the black president.
Listen to you.
Look, he has a career and things. He has to, I'm telling you, I am going to tell you what a person with a career, black person with a career talk is. We have to make sacrifices. He doesn't want to do it, but we have to make sacrifices.
We all got to do it. We all got to make them.
Which means the black president.
Well, do you want to make some sacrifices, my friend?
There you go.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll be honest with you. I make giant sacrifices.
That's great. Well, then there you have it.
I'm already making sacrifices. I just don't want to make more sacrifices.
By pressing that button that says Negro.
It's not pressing the Negro button.
Boy, is that a sacrifice. I know you got carpal tunnel syndrome in both wrists when that happened.
You are an ass, Patrice.
Anthony is the guy in Crash that sold the girl the gun.
There you have it.
That's pretty much it, right?
And speaking of movies, man, you know,
Max Payne.
Yes.
there you have it. Max Payne comes out this Friday. You got myself, Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, Bo Bridges. It's loosely based off the video game, you know, for all the gamers out there. But I guarantee you, if you never played a video game or know about it, you're still going to walk away from this experience very satisfied. The movie is ludicrous.
I was psyched when I heard they were even making this. When I first heard that, because I'd played the game.
Right.
Very cool, very like creepy, eerie kind of a thing going on, and how does the movie compare to the game, like the character himself?
Man, honestly, it's like the game is one thing, but it's like the movie, it's loosely based off the game, but it takes it to a whole nother level. So, you know, the cinematography is stylized, it has that kind of film noir feeling, you know, that dark Matrix type feel, but, you know, the storyline, a man that his family's brutally murdered and he's out to seek revenge and he's definitely destroying anything in his pathway to find out who killed his family. It's a great story, my friend. So I think you'll definitely enjoy it, especially if you play the video game.
And
yes,
you are in the movie.
Jim Bravura. So do you remember Jim Bravura from the video game?
Jim was what was it, his little buddy that would help him out every so often?
Not really.
No idea who Jim Bravura is.
Jim Bravura, internal affairs agent. So it was actually written in for a 60-year-old white man. I went and auditioned for the part, man, and the director called me 2 days later and told me I had it. So, you know, I'm in there, man.
They still make you read for parts?
Sometimes, you know, just to make sure that you do a screen test so that you go up against certain people, you know, make sure everything's right.
Make sure the chemistry's out.
Exactly. And the good thing is, I don't die in the first one as the black man, so it's a very beautiful thing. There's room for me to come back if there's a sequel. It's a beautiful thing.
What do you think it is about hip-hop artists that make it the transition to film so easy? Like, there's a lot of good actors have come out of rap.
Well, I mean, you got to think that when we write our own music, of course, so, you know, that's kind of like our emotion on paper, and then we do it visually on video. So when we do videos, it's already a form of acting in our own character, and basically the things that we've written down, like I said, as far as music is concerned. So it's a good transition. Half of it is being comfortable in front of the camera, in my opinion. But I think that's why so many artists, you know, they make that transition because they're already doing a form of it anyway. It's just about taking on different characters.
Now, is the change in the name, or going back to your, like Chris Ludacris Bridges, is that more the studio? Because like 50 Cent's doing the same thing. He's being billed as like, you know, a Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and it seems like a lot of the rappers they're trying to get to use. Is that a studio thing?
No, that's something that I'm trying to do personally. It's just because, like I said, Ludacris is a character all within himself. So, you know, that's the music side. And when I'm Chris Bridges, it's me taking on other characters, of course.
Satisfied, Jim Douche Norton?
Why? It's a good question, Anthony Elitas Comia. How much did Bill O'Reilly cost you in 2002?
Oof, he probably made me more money. So thanks to Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, in the end, he made you a lot of money.
Absolutely.
We were just talking about boycotts yesterday on our show because you know, we're threatened with boycotts from time to time, and the special interest groups. What did you think of that whole thing with Pepsi getting rid of you?
Like I said, man, it was a learning experience. It made me want to learn more about how businesses can even do things like that. So I take adversity and I make it a positive. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what life is all about.
But for them to just go and just get rid of it just like that, you know, without even like hanging in there and seeing what develops, it just amazes us that corporations will do that.
Believe me, it amazed me when it happened too. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, I got life goes on, and you know, you keep moving and you make sure that you stay successful. So that at the end of the day, it was just like a speed bump in my life. But you know, you need some adversity sometimes in order to become a stronger person.
At the time, though, it's a lot more than just, you know, a speed bump when stuff like that happens, because you kind of go, what is this about? Like, this dummy Bill O'Reilly gets on and just starts lambasting you about you know, why is Pepsi hiring him? Here's what he does. But it's like,
you know, it's a lot more when you dwell so much on the past and stop thinking about the future. That's what it is. I'll be honest with you. Let's think about what's to come and forget about what happened.
Unfortunately, that stuff is still happening, though.
Yeah, that's why we bring it up. We're very passionate about it. We're saying,
I think boycotts work.
Yeah, like the people are all saying to stop drinking Pepsi. No,
Pepsi's
you know, yeah,
Pepsi.
right. All right. What about the Oprah thing, 2006?
That was a very long time ago, but what would you like to know about that?
I mean,
keep the adversity going.
Well, but you
what about it? That was a general statement. So
but you've been involved in some, very controversial things that are worth talking about. We've never talked to you about them.
Absolutely.
Oprah didn't want to empower rappers and doesn't believe in rappers and hip hop. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
I mean, what do you want me to say, my friend?
Well, just your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I guess you could say my thoughts on it is that some people can have a disagreement and you can agree to disagree. So that's basically what it comes down to.
You don't want to piss off Oprah?
Huh?
No one does.
No, all right. She's very powerful.
I've openly voiced my opinion about the whole entire subject, and that's what I'm doing now. So
Yeah.
No, it's not about keeping controversy going. It's like a lot of times these things happen, and they're frustrating to watch from the outside. It's frustrating to see, especially when I see other artists getting attacked. It's really irritating, and they're getting attacked on content, and when I see the corporations buckle, or I see someone like Oprah, who's an artist who made it, attacking it, it's aggravating to watch. And it's like, we don't get to talk to a lot of the guys until, unfortunately, 2 years later. And it is something that people still associate. Like, this radio show has gotten in trouble, and it's annoying. People still associate it with a lot of the problems it's had.
Man, that's all. Y'all got to do your job, man. It's all good. I'm here to answer whatever questions you want me to answer.
We've seen a lot of really good radio shows, go away because of dumb things, and that's all. It's very important to us, And
it's like
for her not to, be into rappers is ridiculous.
But you hit back musically too, like on a Bill O'Reilly. You hit back, which is nice. It's gotta be satisfying artistically to be able to take a swing and do it in the right context, which is through your work.
Yeah, I mean, artistically, I voice my opinion through my music sometimes, and that's what we do. And of course, he voices his opinion on his show, so we all have our own formats of doing things.
Right.
Same way this radio show has their own format of doing things. Let's all keep our jobs.
Yeah, that seems to be the goal.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, we try.
But of course, a lot of people, a lot of rappers, we don't get open invitations everywhere, so we have to fight for, trying to break that whole stereotype sometimes, and that's what everybody has to do. We all have kind of a stereotype. That's even what Crash was all about, trying to not be so quick to judge certain people. And that's the whole situation, with the Oprah situation. And at the end of the day, like I said, I still have a lot of respect for her and a lot of love for her. I mean, if you don't respect Oprah, you have to respect her just because of what she's accomplished in her life. And I just feel like when it came to that crossroad, it was just something that we agreed to disagree on.
But wouldn't you like to be able to make all your money without dealing with white folks? I would. God, I would like to get rid of my white agents. I wish I could make zillions just with black folks. I really do. So I don't have to look at your stupid faces ever again.
It's interesting that you said that.
I really want to.
Good luck. You end up like
end up like who?
Like a lot of boxers.
Wait, Don King made a lot of millions.
Yes, he did, off the backs of the guys that didn't want the white guy helping him out.
So?
Look at him.
Tyson did give Rooney the boot.
Good. That's what I'm saying, man.
Not a good move.
You can't just say so.
I just want to see.
So your pants.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Can I talk about Crash for a second? Because it was...
It's a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
Crash was a long time
I know. Delving in the past.
We better not.
But that was such a great movie. It was like...
It ain't better than Max Payne, though.
I haven't seen Max Payne yet. And I'll be talking about Max Payne 2 years from now, but I haven't seen it. So I'm not going to lie.
Max Payne is in theaters Friday, though.
So I'll come back Monday and talk about Max Payne.
That's right.
Can't...
Crash. We all loved Crash.
It was about... it was about, like, stereotypes and not judging people, but it seemed like every character in that got redemption somehow, which was great. Like, they show, like, the ugly, stereotypical side of every person, and then they also show, like, every person kind of getting redemption. It was just a great movie, man.
Thank you, man. I greatly appreciate it.
Were you surprised it won the Best Picture?
You know what, man? To be honest with you, it was up against some really good movies that year, and I knew we had a shot. But, I absolutely, like the whole cast, we were kind of wondering whether or not it was going to make it. That's why we were so surprised when it did. But I knew it had a shot, and I knew it was a great movie. And it was kind of one of those word-of-mouth type movies that just built up over a long period of time. So I was real happy about that. But, no, I didn't know right away that it was going to get the Oscar.
Did everybody get that money? That situation worked itself out?
That situation is still going.
People didn't get paid, right, from that movie, right?
Yeah, like back ends.
Man.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the people stole some money from Crash.
Oh, yeah.
Got robbed.
Probably a lot on DVD sales, too, because a lot of the DVD stuff, the actors are still having trouble getting all their money. I'm talking about actors like I can do it. It's amazing how pompous I am because I'm surprised that you had to read. Well, I've done some acting. I don't like to be called in to read. I'm like, they should just kind of offer me something. And I can't even get into a Dane Cook movie. So it's the fact that you're still reading kind of makes me feel better. Like, well, if he has to read after some of the stuff he's done,
Makes you feel better?
Yeah, but he wouldn't.
look, I have to read. It doesn't make
He
me
wouldn't
feel
have
bad.
to read.
Means you're going to be reading forever.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to read if, like, in terms of rap, hip hop, royalty. If that had to do with any Hollywood, he wouldn't have to read a thing. But he's a rapper. Hollywood's crazy. They're not like, hey, Ludacris, you're wonderful here. You got to read. You got to read up until, I bet you there's every Negro got to read. It's probably except for Denzel. Except they just fired Terrence Howard from Iron Man 2.
Did they fire him or did he quit?
He fired.
Why would they
I didn't know he was
Because
fired.
he was black asking for
Too much money.
whiteness.
Oh, jeez.
They almost got rid of Favreau. And find out what happened. Favreau was getting ready to go, well, I should get double. Really? Because Marvel's like, hey, look, Iron Man sells himself. We can put, somebody in a wheelchair play Iron Man, Jack. We don't need you. So everybody in Iron Man that started standing up for that money got the boot. Starting with Terrence Howard, which is, that's how it starts. Replace Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle. He's not even the same body type. He's not War Machine.
No, but to answer your question, man, like sometimes I do have to audition, other times I don't. It's kind of like half and half right now. But like he said, I've been blessed to be in some good projects, but I still, I consider myself fairly new, and I'm definitely, continuing to increase the body of work and just to pick diverse roles. And sometimes, like I said, they want to see you up against the person, so to make sure there's chemistry. So that's the reason that you would audition, as opposed to them just giving you something all the time until you get to, say, a Denzel level.
You get any people that get like annoyed at you, or a little like, oh man, look at him now, he's doing the acting thing. He's kind of like you lose some credibility with some people.
You know what they call it in the hood?
Some people.
Just haters.
It's
yes.
like when
Haters,
Metallica
yes,
does
there
a song.
is.
When Metallica does a song that's not as thrash as it was on Ride the Lightning. People like they're changing. They're not the same band. I mean, do rappers get the same thing from people who are like, I only want to hear you do hip hop. I don't want to see you acting. I don't want to see you.
Yeah, they don't want to see him do anything. They don't want to see him living. Yeah, it's called haters. He can do anything. He's dropping an album. He's acting. There is haters, of course.
In this day and age, you have a lot of entrepreneurs, or I call myself an entreprenegro. So, there's a lot of different things we do besides just rap. And I think that people have accepted that at this point because they look at us as businessmen. So it would be good to expand, certain things that you're doing instead of just doing one thing all the time.
I fell in love with Crash when you guys were walking with the pistols, and you're like, we're dressed like UCLA students, or whatever you said.
Right.
And then they pull the guns out and robbed them and took the truck. It was so great because Hollywood has gotten so bent on showing you every stereotype and then completely going the opposite way. Like you're crazy to ever feel uncomfortable, or you're crazy to ever be afraid of something. And Crash just put it right in your face. It was just, I can't stop talking about that movie.
It was brilliant.
And again,
I know.
Max Payne is. I know, but it's.
Are you a good guy, bad guy, gangster?
In Max Payne?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Internal affairs agent. So, Max Payne is considered the anti-hero, I guess, or the kind of the bad guy.
Playing an internal affairs agent.
Yeah, man. Just doing something different.
Yeah, we
Really are acting now, Luke.
Absolutely. I
you go.
really signed on just to be able to point a gun at Mark Wahlberg and get away with it. So that's really why I did it.
We got to get Chris out of here. So Max Payne in theaters this Friday.
Yeah, and then Rock and Roller, a movie that Guy Ritchie wrote and directed. That's actually in New York right now, limited release. So go check that out. And then the album, November 25th, man, Theater of the Mind, album number 6. So,
Jesus,
greatly appreciate it.
Got a lot going on.
Hopefully, Oprah and Bill O'Reilly will all go purchase the album.
You're right there. They did help. Aerosmith did the same thing. They thanked Tipper Gore when they won because her complaining about labeling and all that stuff helped push them through in somewhere else.
He thanked O'Reilly when he won the Grammys.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
and Oprah for that matter. Even though it did happen a long time ago, but
Sorry
hey,
about
it's all
that,
good. We're here.
If you want to exchange numbers when this stuff happens, we'll call you the next day.
Don't even worry about it, man.
We can get it right on the radio.
If
I'm
we
also
couldn't-
a good actor too, so if there happens to be,
You're acting right now. I'm peeping you out. It's pretty cool. You're
I'm
doing
very
good.
good. I'm putting my arms open. I'm actually gesticulating. I'm actually very good.
Yeah.
Don't know what to do with your arm.
I stink. You know what to do with your hands when you act? I know we're trying to go to break, but my problem when I act is my hands. I never know what to do with my hands.
It depends on your character. Like, are you playing Rain Man or are you playing a basketball?
I always try to audition like the guy is paralyzed below the neck. I just kind of sit there. And my head moves.
Something you got to work on, man. Just work on it. You'll be good.
All right, it's Chris Ludacris Bridges, everyone. Max Payne in theaters Friday. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much, man.
All right, quick break. We'll continue. Opie and Anthony. All right. We're back.
The Opie and Anthony Show. Patrice O'Neal in studio. This weekend, catch a rising star in Rhode Island.
A. Zephyr. He writes, well, that was uncomfortable. Patrice checked out.
Checked out.
And it's not a black thing.
Not at all.
Does Patrice kind of try to do a black thing there? Black, white, we get a lot of celebrities that do exactly what Ludacris does. Keep it very safe.
What is it?
You just don't
I don't know.
When you're, and this is, look, I've been guilty of it on a much lower level because I'm not that far.
Look, let me say this, man. All I'm saying is this. Look, I'm going to Rhode Island. There'll be 2 black people there, maybe. I'm saying, look, it's very difficult to entertain and this and that and keep your head when everybody has to be entertained. But I'm saying, in terms of, not every answer needs to be political, who is he hurting just answering something in a real... Oprah doesn't want to have anything to do with him. It just...
On our level, it's like when certain comedy clubs don't pass you. This is for us. Whether it was Lucian, who ran the comic strip for many years, or whoever it is. And then you finally get passed at the club. And my anger towards Lucian, he was a guy, he's dead now, but he ran the comic strip for years. I hated him. When I finally got passed at the strip,
right,
I really kind of stopped bad-mouthing him. Like, I was like, and this was not even in a public forum like this. My anger towards Lucian wasn't as bad anymore because
good is good if it's good for me. You were happy because it was you.
It wasn't phony. It was just I wasn't as angry anymore. Even though I would have been like a little more likely to bash him than he was Oprah. But again, it wasn't on that level and it wasn't public.
But let me ask you this. Okay.
I just want to say the whole Oprah thing, you made a great point during the break. You said the reason he doesn't want to even talk about the Oprah thing because there's a possibility Oprah will have him on
bring him back
to promote Max Payne. Mm-hmm. Like the question I got for Patrice, how would you have liked that interview to go?
Just
what we were doing.
You know what it was? Ready?
Yeah.
It was not going to. Here's what stopped me. Here's what stopped me from being involved. Because look, I'm on you guys' show, and it's just not for me as a black dude to challenge Ludacris, man. I'm just not going to do it on your show. It's up to you guys to challenge him. But when he said he segued into Max Payne, that's when I left in my head. When it went there because that's what he's here to do, and he has to go do it at this place and that. That's the job and everything. But maybe I don't. This is what I was saying off air. Maybe I don't want what I have to do to get at that level. Maybe I can trick this business into giving me a couple of mil, and then take it and hide it under my mattress, and then go back because I don't know what do I have to do. Do I have to be that way? I don't know,
but
man.
As an artist,
and that way is. It just wasn't nothing significant was going to happen, you know?
But as a comic, you're always going to talk as a comedian. You're always going to speak through your work. I'm certainly always going to speak through my work. As an artist, he did his attacks through his... And I'm only playing devil's advocate because he did hit O'Reilly, and he did address that stuff through the work. And when you're out promoting a film... You're out promoting a film.
He addressed it though.
We're gonna get the Max Payne plugs in. But the stuff that has happened to Ludacris is it hits close to home with us, and we want to know. Hey, what do you think of this, really? And what goes through your mind? And blah blah blah. How could Oprah not want hip hop artists on her show? And she says she doesn't want to empower them. That's crazy. What do you think?
He addressed Bill O'Reilly, and he addressed on the bio. He addressed Barack Obama. He addressed Bill O'Reilly. He addressed Oprah. In what? In rap. In his rap songs. That was his what the interview should have been.
Yeah.
He did it in a rap song.
Right.
So here, it was like, there's the rap part, which is the whole Chris Ludacris last name. The thing is, I'm here as the actor Ludacris, and he said that Ludacris is a character.
Yes.
And
I did
he
think
can rap as that character. This is how his character felt. So he's now separating what his rap is saying to what he's going to be saying when he's
Chris Bridges, the actor.
Dude, it was.
You were really annoyed because you bailed.
because I didn't want
Patrice put his head down and just I looked over at one point and I'm thinking, well, why isn't Patrice asking any questions or talking?
Because I'm the only. It's just
the only honest mother in the room.
No, right?
You want to try to keep it real?
No.
Well, what's the deal?
When I talk, it ain't E.F. Hutton, man. I'm just a maniac, a loser, a maniac. Nothing I say means nothing.
Did you not want?
When I go on Fox and talk about Don Imus, I'm a fool. Like, no one cares. But these guys, man, Chris Rock, Ludacris, 50, these guys are powerful, man, and they can say something. When I say it, I'm an idiot. Nobody cares until somebody who's seen bigger in the business says something,
But
man.
once they reach that point, they stop.
And when they get to that
stuff.
point, it's like, I'm going to man, it's just, man, who gives a damn, Max Payne, who cares? Mark Wahlberg will be talking about that all day. And if you ask Mark Wahlberg, I wanted to bring up the fact, he plays a guy who gets to point a gun at Mark Wahlberg's face, but it was a break. I was going to say, why? To shoot him for good vibrations when he was a rapper? Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying he ain't keeping it real. I'm saying this the dude, what he can, man, he can mix something up, man. I mean, is it because I got nothing that maybe I'm talking because I don't know what's out there that's going to make me change. So I'm setting myself up to be a hypocrite right now because somebody go, Patrice, here's $100 million, and I never want you to open your big black mouth again. And I might go,
believe me, we're trying to pull our cash.
Yeah, no kidding. Kim, why did he get annoyed so fast at the Bill O'Reilly?
Talking about the past.
Talk about Max Payne.
But that's not just the past.
Talked about that already.
I know. No, I'm saying you said it was the past, and it was kind of like.
Yeah, but for us, it's not. We've never
weird.
talked to you before, and it's it's good stuff.
Is it annoyed?
And another thing that
we weren't doing it.
I'm a fan of them.
Is it annoyed? Or is it like when you walk into a radio show, because we do enough press on the road, we know how some of the radio shows are cool, some are dicks. Is it annoyed or is it defensive, like you don't know what the show is trying to do when they go after something or mention something? We know what we're trying to do, which is just basically talk about something, which is what put them in the spotlight in our eyes.
What difference does it make? If you go on a show and they ask you anything, what difference does it really make to you?
No different. But this show gets sick of every time that somebody asks about Sex for Sam, the response is, yeah, all right, we've addressed that. And it does happen sometimes. So that's one of the, or if people ask about certain instances of the radio show, what about the voyeur bus? They'll ask me that in interviews.
But if they ask you about Sex for Sam, Norton, and you're tired of it, but there's context to everything.
Right.
If they talk about Sex for Sam to make you look like you're an idiot and you were fired, it's a different context than they want to know about it because they don't know about it, and the difference.
Most time, I know, but either way, and I'll answer it. But when they ask for the reasons of just wanting to know about it, I don't get angry. I don't get but I'm like, ugh, with this, what are they? Because it does happen, or every time it's brought up in the paper, it's just a reference point.
Right.
But even though it's just a reference point, again, it's still a little annoying. I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm a comic. I answer things differently.
Why I checked out of the thing, I'm going to just tell you why I checked out. I'm a fan. That's why I checked out.
You're a fan of Ludacris, Steve?
I'm a fan.
What do you got, Steve?
Just to confirm what Jimmy said, when he left, he was absolutely confirming what you said. He wasn't familiar with the show. He wasn't angry. He wasn't defensive. He wasn't anything. It was his first time. And he didn't really get the vibe. But he wasn't angry and he wasn't upset. He was just doing what he was supposed to do.
You walk into a room with a station that you don't listen to. And again, I've done it where you're just not exactly sure where everybody is coming from. You don't know exactly, all right, why are they raising this? What, we've been through this. They just trying to start some crap on my name. I'm not saying that, I'm only saying because I've been in those situations, you don't know exactly. And I didn't take it like, oh, he's trying to mother F us. I didn't get that vibe.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
it wasn't, that's not what I'm talking about.
I know.
I'm saying, dude, I had a million things I could ask. I wanted to ask him. It's just, he's royalty, really, in the hood. I mean, he's royalty. He is. So when he comes in here, for real, he's a big, big celebrity. But not here. If I wasn't here, oh, okay, hey, what's up, man? I want to know some. But I could have drove it I was trying to drive it into that place where it's like more and more stuff, but it was just, I'm here for Max Payne. I'm not here to cause, but you already, this is what I'm saying. You already caused it. Like, we're not embraced by Hollywood. It's just not going to happen.
Who's weirdo?
We?
Like, yeah.
Niggas!
But I'm saying, you're making it that, and I'm saying that every celebrity on that level that comes here has nothing to do with that.
And that's what I'm saying. Every celebrity on that level who's not black, that's what they do. Let me tell you, man, Chris Rock, and this is the thing, we're in the same world, so I gotta be careful with that, but I'm gonna say, he found out that he wasn't one of them when he did the Oscars. And he found out that he really wanted to be one of them, which is, I watch MTV and he trashes, when you watch the MTV Awards, he trashes rappers and he got the funniest stuff you can think of talking about all the rappers because he felt like an outsider. He felt like, I'm a comic and I'm going to hit these guys.
Yeah.
And he's relentless and he's ruthless. He did the Oscars and Sean Penn gets up and says what he says to Chris, and it flustered him because he realized, oh man, I'm not an outsider. I'm trying to be an insider, and he let Sean Penn hurt his feelings. Sean Penn, if I'm at Chris's level, at that level, where am I going to go? Where can I go once I'm at his level? If I say, Sean, shut up.
Yeah.
Go play your little retarded characters and go ride your boat through Katrina. Shut up.
You didn't think he was pretty brutal on some of those people, though? I thought he ruined their night.
Yeah, but then
he ruined their night.
But what Patrice is saying, when Sean Penn stood up for a joke Chris Rock told about, we always forget his name. I know. What Patrice, I think, is saying, Chris should have got up there and hit him right back.
Trashed him.
Hit him right back.
Because he's an outsider to Hollywood.
Right.
Yep.
And we're outsiders.
But as a comic, and I'm not saying I would love to attack Sean Penn or see him do it. For whatever reason, he didn't. Maybe it just took him off guard and he didn't want to, for whatever reason, the one moment of him not attacking Sean Penn doesn't matter because it's not like the rest of it was polite. The rest of it was pretty brutal for an Oscars host. I mean, even me and Colin talked the next night. He really was kind of crappy to a lot of them. So it was almost like he came in as a comic, doing what a comic does, and it was only that one moment where he maybe not reacted.
Because that was the one moment of confrontation that them said, "You're not us. You're them." Sean Penn, it was a them thing where he goes, his name is, what is that guy's name?
Jude Law.
Jude Law. I would have been like, both of you phony, shut up. Neither one of you have anything to do with me.
Yeah, Jude Law is one of our finest actors.
Get out of here.
Today.
He sleeps with his nanny.
I'm kind of with Patrice. That deserved a beating because that was so ridiculous.
But it was shocking because
not
he
taking away with
that, man.
The edgy stuff Chris Rock was doing during the Oscars, but you have Sean Penn saying something as ridiculous as that. How do you, as a comic, not go for that?
Only because
and punch back a little bit.
I don't understand that the more black people do get into I don't know, Hollywood, politics, things like that.
Golden handcuffs.
The more angry you get that they're doing this.
No.
You see it
wrong.
You see it as would you rather see fire hoses and German shepherds again?
No.
I mean, or this there's an acceptance with
you twisted that up, Anthony. You're twisting that into me being angry about I love this is what's making me angry because I love there is no black hierarchy of us. There's a black hierarchy of me, and then we're in this. But Oprah is her, and Ludacris is him, and 50 is him. And but I'm not saying that I want everybody to have some money. I'm saying, what is it? And I said this earlier. What is it about that level that makes you not say anything?
Fear of losing that level.
Yeah. And it's all celebrities on that level.
Yeah.
You're looking at him the way a lot of guys would look at you, even though it's a total. And you're not the typical case point because you're Patrice, but say most comics that are on your level who are like still brutal, but guys like us we're not stupid brutal. We know we'll tease people and this, and there's people who might have known you years ago. Why is he doing this? Why is he not coming that hard? And that, in a way, he's on that level higher than us.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's leveling up, and a lot of celebrities do it. Like when they.
I'm not saying you're supposed to be a maniac, Norton.
No, I know.
I mean, look. We're talking about it, but it's like, I'm going to say the wrong thing until I say the right thing. I'm not saying that he's supposed to come on here and go F Bill O'Reilly or.
Right.
I'm just saying.
We just wanted to get his point of view on the whole.
Yeah,
that's all.
Exactly.
Hey, well, we weren't about. It would be fun if he did because we hate the guy, but. We just wanted his thoughts on it.
Just not like the carefulness. I'm not saying all right. I'm not saying a maniac. I'm saying just carefulness of I'm here for Max. Like just the careful. Just what?
But
he was being very safe.
Yeah,
and it's not a black thing. We've seen it with
absolutely
big white stars.
Dude, you got a studio sending you out and they're saying promote this, and you make an X amount of million for a movie. It's almost like why go through the hassle? And we weren't saying attack Oprah. We weren't saying attack O'Reilly. We were really just asking about it. But if you walk into a situation where you don't know the players, it's not like we're a station the guy's been on. Like Kevin Smith comes in and he'll talk about anything because he knows us. He's comfortable and when you're in a situation where you're promoting this major film, and in the last couple of years, it's not like he's been doing major films for 10 years. Where do you go with that? Like, do you attack these icons now that the storm is settled?
Let me ask you this.
I think he should have, because all we were asking was, how'd you feel at the time?
Yeah.
You could be honest and say, well, you probably wanted to go down there and twist Bill O'Reilly's head off at the time. He cost you so much money. And that's why I said, I said to him, I went, at that time when it happened, like that's when you can say, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. In hindsight now, it wasn't that big a thing. At the time, that was my livelihood this son of a bitch was taken away. That's honestly, we could talk about Bill Donahue. It's the same situation. At the time, I wanted to take his gray head and smash it on a curb. And now he's been on the show, and I'm like, all right, he's just doing what he does. I'm not kissing his ass to get advancement anywhere, but water under the bridge, whatever you want to call it. But at the time, and I can be honest, I could sit here and go, yes, at the time, I wanted to smash him.
Okay, so you're right. At the time, I would like to have heard a little bit more about that.
Yeah, but be a little honest.
Once you get to a certain point in your career, and you see how fast it can be taken away, or like he happened to rebound and do really well. But when you see how quickly one of these guys, one of these massive people, like when you see how the machine works and how it can just chop you off, like for you to lose a major endorsement just because stupid O'Reilly, you're probably hesitant for no reason at all.
So that's considered a sellout?
No, it's not at all.
Technically, I wouldn't.
You're just not
disagree or not do it. I would do it too.
Can I ask you about what you said?
I think a sellout would be if O'Reilly attacked him again and he was like, that's just been
that to me. No, you said a thing like if he knew the show. And you said Kevin Smith knows the show. Let's say this. If he knew the show and then you asked him those questions. If he knew you, he knew what you were about. His friends, say his radio show friends asked him those questions. Then what?
Maybe you're just more comfortable to go back there and know that if you say, man, I was really aggravated, I hated the guy, you kind of know that when you answer certain questions, you might not know where this show is going to take it or what we're going to. I don't know. I'm only speculating because I've been on different radio shows before.
Right.
And I know, you know how it is, man. Sometimes you walk in and there's a weird vibe. Sometimes it's a great vibe. But once you're on more than once or twice or three times, then you're more comfortable. I can't wait to get back to that show. They took care of me. They treated me right. I felt comfortable there. First time in any show, especially, look, the reputation for the show is very aggressive. I mean, I'm amazed at how aggressive this show is when I do other shows. Like, Jesus, we really do say some harsh things, even on terrestrial radio, where we really do address things with brutality. So a lot of times you're going on a show that, look, people are aware, this is what they know about Opie and Anthony. Oh, those are the guys, Sex for Sam, Sex in the Church. They know the crazy, outrageous stuff about us that he probably thinks we know about him. So I'm only saying, look, I would love to have had answers, but that's why I'm not mad about it. That's why I'm not, because I didn't feel like he was trying to be a dick to us. I think that a lot of times you're not 100% sure where someone's going.
Yeah, I don't think he was.
It's just always on my take.
I don't think he was. It's that. It was just the let me get to it wasn't let me get forget all of this knowing, and it's just so what did you feel about what happened in your life, and then it just answer it as opposed to I'm not. What is he doesn't really
insight on your personality, who you are before we get to the plug.
Yeah,
that might have been,
and that's way more interesting to us than talking about Max Payne for 20 minutes.
Sure, because people don't know it.
There's a problem. We need to get our listeners and into what we're doing, and we know that talking about Max Payne for 20 minutes is not going to get the job done. I'm sorry, it's just not.
Don't forget,
and that's why you look at these bios and go, "Wow, that's something that's worth talking about."
And he's had some interesting stuff happen in his career.
And he might give us another. He might give us another angle. Well, these guys don't understand our side of this. They want to come in here and just give us like very, very boring Max Payne plug type radio, and that's not going to do him any good or us any good in the end.
See, I know that as a comic and stuff, and I'm sure he's done a lot of radio stations. But a lot of the guys, a lot of celebrities do TV, and when you're doing TV, it's a very set way of doing it, where you're on for 6 minutes or 7 minutes, you get a little clip of the thing shown, you talk about the movie a lot. It's very, you know what I'm saying? It's like you know exactly what the drill is. You know exactly what the routine is. When you walk into a radio show where you have 15 minutes, and all of a sudden there's 5 guys, and they start bringing up stuff from the past, and the studios, you just don't know exactly where it's going to go. I know why we do it.
Yeah, we get to go long form, I call that what you just described, who gives a crap TV. It happens all the time.
Agree more,
and that's why I don't watch any of that stuff, because I know nothing is going to happen.
Dude, I agree.
No, I know. I'm with you. I'm just reiterating.
And I would just like to, look, if I ever got to the level of respect and money and glory, I would love to just let every other black person who knows what happens on that way, what you got to do and got to deal with, and explain even the fact that he had to do Max Payne. Explain that. Just tell me what it's like to be at your level and be black. Let me know.
Yeah, he didn't seem to want to be black at that moment.
Are you voting for Obama?
He just wanted to be the guy. Yeah, I know. You're voting for Obama? Well, I just got to tell you, it's just important to get out there and vote.
But most celebrities on that level would say that. Most celebrities, it's not a black-white thing. Most celebrities on that level, promoting for a major movie with Mark Wahlberg or any.
We're not talking about
I can't tell who
phony white people.
That was a little odd.
That's what white people do.
That was a little odd.
Celebrity thing. It's not a white-black thing. That's a celebrity thing.
But I didn't even catch that, because if he says I'm voting for Obama, then everyone voting for McCain might not. Some of these people aren't going to go see Max Payne now.
Yeah, or it might just open a political argument. I'm not saying that. It might open a political argument that you don't want to get into when you're promoting a film.
Well, you know something? You're promoting a film. You want people to kind of like you, know you a little bit. I think it would have been good. It would have been compelling radio to hear his point on a guy that is successful, making a lot of money. Why are you voting for Obama, knowing that more of your money's going to be taken away? Just things like that. And then you get that answer, well, the important thing is just get out there and vote.
I agree.
That was kind of
It's
answer.
obvious he's voting for Obama. He has a rap song about it.
Yeah,
he loves the Obama.
Yes.
But it's about, people that might be buying the movie tickets that are voting for McCain, and next thing you know, they're going to go see some other
I'm with Patrice movie on this one. Definitely.
I'm not even against Patrice. I'm not against.
Yes, you are.
I'm really
You're
not.
racist.
I'm only listening to his argument.
You could kiss our black asses.
I'm only listening to his argument, and it's almost like we've seen enough guys who don't want to go into certain areas and they're doing promo or whatever. For it to not be as much of a black and white thing. It's just a celebrity on a certain level thing.
You get to a certain level of celebrity and you get exactly what happened today. That's why we say no to a lot of these guys, because we know it's not worth it, because we know we're not going to get good radio out of them. Oh, our music ended.
Hey, over at Sirius XM, we have Edward Norton calling in. I think in about 45 minutes.
So not that one.
Which should be about what I expect.
Oh, Jesus.
That I expect out of Edward Norton. That's all.
Last time he called in, he was plugging. It was a political. It was an environmental thing.
And I'm like on Ludacris, the rapper. Like, it's a lot of things.
Let me ask this question.
I'm a fan of the dude.
And Norton
it was just a lot of.
And Norton called our show a couple times. What do you remember from the last time he called?
Mostly discussing his view on environmentalism. Yeah. That's what he called us, the plugs of environmental things.
Yeah. All right, Patrice O'Neal is going to be where? Patrice, Catch a Rising Star in Providence, Rhode Island this weekend.
I'm going to be nowhere.
CatchARisingStar.com. We got to get out of here.
Yeah. Well,
we're not even in that a real disagreement because as comedians, I love comedians. A guy, Colin, who's a guy on a bigger level than we are, who will say almost anything to anybody. I love comedians for that reason more than I love any other performers.
And what you just said, I think there is just an attitude. It's you're anti-establishment kind of person, or you're not. And Colin is big enough or Nick DiPaolo is big enough to not cause himself problems. And I always look at white guys that cause themselves problems, and I go, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. But white guys that will cause themselves problems. Look at Louis Black, that interview you played with him. He's causing them. He was going to cause himself problems at some point if it dug into him too much. Look, there was a lot of things, and like you said, you guys have seen it all in terms of interviews, and you've been disappointed by many.
Yeah.
My thing is, he didn't disappoint me. All I just was like saying is, man, what the fuck happens in hot? Please school me.
That is completely legit.
What the fuck
they
do for you to not say fuck Oprah? Not saying, nigga, you a sellout, you didn't say fuck Oprah. It's like, I hear it, man. I hear it, Ludacris. I hear it. And that's why I was like, you want me to call you Ludacris, Chris? I'm just trying to keep him happy. And I just want to know, please tell me, what the fuck is going on? Please. So I can know. To know if I'm ever going to be there or not. Yep. Please tell me. Are you a Scientologist? Are you what goes on? It ain't talent. And I'm not saying Ludacris not talent. I'm saying it's not talent where you go, I'm going to just make it because of talent. I used to believe in that shit. And I go, goddamn well, you got to be friendly with somebody.
Yeah.
But at what point, if I have 20 mil in my pocket, I figure that I can, like, I always said this about Mel Gibson and that whole thing where they would try to make him an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, didn't he make $500 million from that Jesus movie? And I go, how much money do you need before you can be an anti-Semite?
Let me tell you, if you have $500 million, you want and feel you need $1 billion. It's just the way it is, Patrice. Look, are you satisfied with what you have right now and what you make?
Man,
it's not even monetary though. It's creative too.
End of the world money, dude.
It is creative.
$500 million, man.
Like you don't want to be out.
But let me tell you something. Creativity, and I'm not saying this to sound fucking conceited or anything. Creativity will just fucking come out of you. It doesn't matter. If you're a great actor, you don't have to sit there and go, fuck, I gotta be creative. All right, I gotta put everything else on a shelf and be creative. It's just gonna happen. No. The bottom line is, it gets to the point where, and this isn't a sellout thing or that it's all about money and materialistic things. The thing is, you benefit from your creativity just because you did. Some people are very creative, very talented. They'll go to their grave fucking poor. Some people aren't very talented and they make it. There's a lot of luck involved. But once you are there, and you're making a good living, you got a nice place, whatever the fuck it is.
I understand.
You don't only want to keep it, you want to advance.
When I say, one second, when I say creativity, I don't mean the ability to create. I mean the place to do it. Like, you don't want to be ostracized. Like, do you remember when Homeless Charlie happened? Here's a perfect example. How we were all, it was scary because we knew nothing wrong had happened.
Right.
And yet it was all about to be taken away. And every one of us, you read the apology.
Pete.
But dude, you read the apology. We were all in agreement.
Yeah,
None of us were being mavericks behind this. We were all like, we hate doing this. It stinks. I wasn't going, fuck you, Ant, don't do it. I was like, please read it politely. But, we were all thinking that way.
Right.
We're not a sellout radio show. We're brutal. But when you see it's already been taken away once, and when you see it possibly going to happen again, it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
We still would have been the same humans. But when the opportunity, the place to be who we are, which is on this show, could have been taken away. Well, we were all kind of smart about it and said, you know what? The bigger picture is we will have so much more time to do
I understand
you're
in a critical situation
right?
like that.
Anthony,
well, I agree with Fred the Vaccaro voice. But I just want to...
Oh, it really is.
Scratchy voice, bitch.
You were going to ask me for money?
You're a millionaire, right?
Well, I'll answer that question, Patrice, by telling you this. Everyone needs money.
Yes.
I think everyone should get out there and earn their millions.
Now, if you have $500 million, you're... Okay, if you have $1 billion.
$1 billion.
You are a millionaire.
You're 1,000 millionaire.
You can buy 1,000 things for
$1 million.
Right. You are a millionaire, a multi-millionaire.
Yes.
So you're okay if you live like if you're $1 billion, you live like a multi. If you have 500 million, you buy your fucking mansion that's worth 10 million, and you have to keep it up $1 million a year. Some shit.
It's not all about money.
Exactly.
I think Norton said it. You want to still do your thing and be creative, and I mean, the fact is...
Let me tell you something, though. I'm not going to sit here in front of a fucking microphone and live back in the apartment I was in fucking 1990.
Of course not.
I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to be that. I could be just as creative and sit here and do that shit, but I don't want to fucking live there again.
But it's about also like
cockroaches and fucking shit all over the place. Fuck that noise. Part of it is about the goddamn money because that seems to be the measurement of success in this country.
No, when you have enough, like Mel Gibson has, let's be honest, more than the show. Mel Gibson
probably
has enough
doesn't think he does.
To do what he wants. Mel Gibson, if he wanted more money, though, Mel wouldn't make movies like Apocalypto, which was brilliant, but he would make movies that were more mainstream. He wouldn't make The Passion of the Christ, which is not looking like it's going to be a mainstream hit. Mel is on an artistic place.
That made him...
It did.
Millions.
But he could be making Lethal Weapon 6 knowing it's going to be a hit or another movie like that.
They were just talking about that and they backed out or something.
But do you know what I'm saying? It's like for him...
He's ready to do that.
He was one of the very rare cases who he's an anti-Semite. And a lot of the studios won't distribute his shit. But he's so big and so above it. He's iconic. Mel Gibson's a bad example because he's iconic.
But some people are famous and some people are like Al Pacino... Robert De Niro, Denzel, Morgan Freeman, they're not famous. They're not. They're
iconic, yes.
You don't even see them.
Yes.
Joe Pesci, you don't hear from him. Meryl Streep, you don't hear. So if you're going to be a person that doesn't want to fuck with anybody, don't fuck with anybody. But then if you're going to be a person that's on something where you're supposed to be saying something. And look at Sean Penn. He's a fucking maniac with what he believes in.
Bring it back to us. I mean, you decide what you're willing to do. I mean, we can make more money than we're making now if we decide to go mainstream. We've had chances to
Can we?
Yes, we've decided.
Hire that hole.
Let's do it.
And let's go.
I don't want to get fired.
But we've decided a long time ago that that's not our thing. There's a balance. We love money, but we also like having integrity with what we do with our radio show. We absolutely could be making a hell of a lot more money if we decided to maybe soften our delivery and go a little mainstream.
How much money's the end?
How
much is money? How much money can I give you? Right? Honestly, and I go. Dude, I go. Look, I don't want you around anymore in radio. How much can I give you to get the fuck out of radio?
We could.
I'll take 10 grand.
Yeah. I like what I do. I mean, the fact is, if we get kicked off the air again, I'll be fine.
But I'm saying no amount of money would get you off.
I like doing this.
You have a payoff for your rest of your career?
I don't think so not because of the same reasons. The thing is, like I said, if you have $1 million, you want $2. You become you get a lifestyle that then costs a little more. It's relative. It's all fucking relative.
So if you have 10 million, it's rare chance that you'll live like a multi-thousandaire. You probably won't.
No, I would
if you
slowly
live like a
start spending money.
Right.
It's like Howard Stern, $500 million. Do you think he's completely satisfied and goes, I don't want to make any more money? Do you think? No, of course he does.
It seems like it's possible to be like
Bill Gates. Things like that. Well, he's very charitable.
Yeah.
But the thing, and that's like an insane amount of money. That's the amount of money that probably people go, I really don't need any more money. is when you're in that thing where they list the top 10 fucking people.
And still is the richest in the
more
world.
Billions. Yeah. There are those people that are on the top 10 wealth list that probably a lot of them are like, but you know, if I didn't make another dime. But to be truthful, if the career ended, you know, and there was zero income coming in for me, no, I wouldn't be fucking happy, and I wouldn't be able to fucking live like I live. It's not, and I'm not spending a lot of fucking money relative to what I make. I'm not like overstepping my means, but so I got a fucking mortgage, just like somebody that's working a job making like 50 grand or whatever, or two people are working in a household. They're pulling in 80,000. They're paying their mortgage. They're paying their electric bills. They're doing this, doing that. They got a car. It's the same fucking thing, only it's relative. It's up a notch. I might have a better car, a bigger house, things like that, but I can't fucking stop working tomorrow.
But what would make Bill Gates get on? Like, say if he did the radio. This is me wondering.
Seinfeld has 250 million. He can stop working because he probably can't have a lifestyle that exceeds that unless he goes lunatic.
Because he's got 8 billion cars.
What would Bill Gates do, right? If Bill Gates came on the show, but those guys, what would keep him from going, the nigga from Dell can suck my dick? Like, what would...
You have to face those guys. It's a matter, it becomes a matter, I think, for those guys of social... It's like, you know, you're socializing with them. You're not... Like, once we got to know Bill Donahue, we became less angry at him because we saw him in a different way. Not just as this fucking guy, this thing, but, oh yeah, he's a guy that has humor. He's a guy... You start to see them differently because they acknowledge you differently, too. So to them, Ludacris is no longer just this fucking black kid rat... He's all of a sudden, oh, that's Chris. He's a nice guy. I had a drink with him. He's a funny dude. We had fun with him. They looked at you differently, too. Everyone sees each other differently.
As you're saying this right now, I just realized something. I'm irrelevant.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not of the new world.
What do you mean, your old world,
I think Boston,
Patrice?
I think Boston has damaged me beyond repair. I just don't believe in white society like that. I just believe them. The reason I don't believe Obama's going to be the president is the same thing. What you just said made me realize that I just can't see a different fucking America. I can't see it. I think I'm being really honest, man. I just think I'm irrelevant.
You're not irrelevant. You're not irrelevant. You don't want to get your hopes up and be hurt. That's not irrelevant. To not want to be disappointed. To not want to love something so much or want something so much that when it's not there, it really hurts. That's not irrelevant. I mean, and you know, I don't consider that to be irrelevant.
I think I'm not. I don't know.
Wow, Patrice just had a
realization. You speak your mind, Patrice. You've always spoken your mind. On Tough Crowd, you spoke your mind. And yet you weren't, you played the game in the sense where you knew what you had to do to be successful on the show, but you always spoke your mind.
I just want to clear things up on Pal Talk. Patrice didn't say I'm an elephant, so don't say that.
I'm lost.
What?
Seeing Ludacris like that.
What does Patrice want for this country?
Or for you, like, what does seeing Ludacris like that do to you? Because it affected you in a way. It was like, you're looking at it differently than I am. But it seemed like it hit you in a different way.
You wanted him to hold true to who he is.
I just want...
When he's hanging out with his friends and not hanging out with the Hollywood and the...
I just feel like if I make something, it's more than I should have made. And if I make millions in this country, and that's what I mean, this is a world that, and I love America because there's nowhere else where a motherfucker like me could make money. You know, talking.
Yeah.
And so this is not an anti-American. This is just, I think this country, niggas are villains, man.
You'd think that?
I think niggas are villains, and I think motherfuckers who make it are still villains. I think Oprah's a villain to this country. I think that she is trying her best. And I think Obama shows you how much a villain we are because it's going to take white people to make him the president. It's going to take white people to put him where he needs to be. and it's real. I think being a black celebrity is not real.
It takes white people to accept you or go into the movie theater and pay the tickets. Like, you just don't like the idea that white people have to put these people over.
That's a numbers game, though.
It is.
I'm not.
Percentages.
It's the idea. It's the idea that I look.
You think there's still a big control issue over black people?
More white guys to be my friend in this world right now than black people. I got 3 black friends maybe left because I had to leave Boston. That's where my friends are. Most people I deal with are white, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm not delusional about it. I'm just saying we're not accepted, dude. We're not accepted, no matter what Ludacris does. And I just use him as a euphemism for all of us. No matter what he does, he gonna be a nigga, man. To the people who he's trying to not be a nigga to.
But who though?
And to whatever magical,
seriously, but like,
to the great odds, nigga. I don't fucking know.
But it's a legit question, because like Louis Black was saying, people lump in the government and they look at the government as this thing.
Entity, yeah.
Who are the people? I'm a white guy, and I know I'm a typical white guy.
I have no clue.
So maybe
that's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to look. If this business really is a beast, I would think Oprah's in the belly. She's as deep inside of the beast.
Hell yeah!
I'm not even in the mouth, really. I think I'm just still running around waiting to be food. And
you're like a
but
bed
she's
bug.
not a villain.
A bed bug on the tip of the nose or something.
To what she has done something, but all it will take is one thing for white people to go, naughty, naughty nigga. No matter what you do, you might as well just be you and make that money. And that's what he was doing. And look, I've been there. I understand all that shit. I understand not having a fucking dime that a motherfucker gives you. You know, my girl will tell you, dude. I used to sit up with headaches worrying about money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, motherfucker call me and go, Patrice, we need you to do this, this, and the third. Like, I stopped doing web junk because I couldn't talk about Chinese people kicking each other in the balls no more. I was done. And I said, look, for me to do this is how much money I'm going to need to continue to lie. The first 2 things at web junk, I was honest. The next thing, I was lying. And I said, this is how much you got to pay me to lie. And that money was goddamn good, watching it come in. Those checks every week, oh my god damn, look at this. And once I decided to stop, I stopped. And I'm not holding everybody to some standard, dude, because there's things I've done that I shouldn't have done. But I'm saying, what the fuck, man? When you get to this level and you don't share with other black people, share just information. What the fuck is going on for you to be at the level that you are at? Will Smith, please do me a favor. How did you become this big? And please don't say it's just talent. Where you get to be a nigga on screen for an hour and 25 minutes until the first other person comes. Just a nigga and some monsters.
Did you want something from Ludacris? Like, not something, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you seem to be taking what him being a typical celebrity in a really personal, like, is it like?
I want to be proud of anybody who makes, I want motherfuckers to at least
hat removal gun.
Let me know that there are some despites, if that makes sense, that I made it despite. I'm in here despite something, man. I'm in here. I wanted my dumb ex-managers, man, to make it with me, and it couldn't happen. I want black management, black eight. I want that. I want the shit. I want black people to be respected, man. And he's a respected black man. Respected, loved, and I want the motherfucker to come in and say, this is how you get to be that. And I respect Ludacris, man, when I watch him, but then in this forum, I watched him, and I didn't respect him.
But how is he not saying that by doing what every other celebrity has to do?
It's not every other celebrity, Norton.
It is. We've had enough. How is he not saying that? This is what you got to do.
Because white people, it's different.
Not when you're on that level of celebrity. They're all the same on that level of celebrity as far as the way they answer questions. And you're reading into it from a black-white issue. And I'm saying is maybe he is telling you this is how you get respected. You don't say stupid shit, or you don't get controversial when you don't need to, or in situations where it's not necessary. Maybe that was an example of how to do it. Maybe that was an example of how to do it.
You know what though? We don't operate. This is what I tell people about Boston. If I had to teach a white class, and not just like, if I had to really teach black people how to be proactive in whiteness, it's to understand passive aggression. That's one of those things that white people will have over you. And I learned this by getting in trouble, unfortunately, with the law. And I had a probation officer. And I realized...
Scagnetti?
Scagnetti.
Yeah, fucking prick.
That fucking Scagnetti. And I realized no matter what, and this is what bothers me, I guess. And again, my training from Boston. And a lot of people don't have training. If you lived in Brooklyn your whole life, you don't have white people training. You just hang around niggas till you don't. Mm-hmm. Then you see white people and go, oh, shit. Oh.
White people.
That motherfucker, when I came in angry, the angry... fucking the victimized, angry, fucked over by the system nigga, right? When I came in there and I was being that, and I was fucking salty, and I was looking at him like I wanted to kill his whole family, things were bad. When I came in there, finally got just tired of it, and he sees, I go, hey, good morning. And they beat me down. I finally changed my name to fucking Toby. He didn't give a fuck about what was in my heart. He didn't give a fuck what was behind my eyes. As long as I came in and smiled and said, hello, sir, he didn't give a fuck about, as long as I came in there and I smiled a big fucking smile and made him feel comfortable, everything was okay. And that's all. That's what I learned when I was 17, that white people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck no matter what you do. No matter what you do. Floyd Mayweather he was talking about, reason my black white people just want, and when I say white, dude, again, I say this on stage, man. White people, when I say white people, it ain't you, motherfucker. Jerry the trucker, shut the fuck up. John the milkman, nigga, shut the fuck up. The system that fucks you too, but makes you think that you're one of them. That's what's, they don't give a fuck. And I'm looking at Ludacris like, man, they don't give a fuck no matter what you do. You doing the right thing, yes. But it don't even fucking matter.
Shit's changed.
Did you ever think that the way you're looking at it, though, has been skewered and maybe...
I just said I'm irrelevant.
You know, no, but I'm not saying irrelevant, but I'm saying, without saying irrelevant or going all that way, does it ever, like, maybe the way you're looking at it is 50% right? But the other 50% that you're lumping in there is not right. Because again, when you talk about Obama, how white people have to put, people like the guy. It's like, it's not as black and white with every single issue.
He's doing,
even though it doesn't exist.
Let me tell you something. The only thing black he's being, Obama, and I understand this, because he needs to be the president. Mm-hmm. The only thing black he's doing is being black. And he's still a nigga.
None of them are that honest. But again, on that level, none of them are honest. None of them. Not one white guy comes out and says a fucking honest word either. Not one guy on that level. And these are guys who are part of the system, who are as accepted as you can be. They get thrown out. Trent Lott said one wrong thing. You can't be more in than Trent Lott was. He said one wrong thing. Out. They throw each other out, too. On that level, it is disloyal to everybody.
Yeah, but they don't throw an entire fucking culture out. See,
you're right.
A lot of times, white people will give up. White people will give up one of their own just to make a big. Like, okay, we're gonna trade. All right, niggas, here we gonna trade you. This is why I spoke up against this whole Imus thing. It's like, I don't get, this is our platform now? Don Imus, we will trade you one old white man saying nigga and an old television icon saying nigga for you never saying nigga. The fact that black people own language. We can say anything we fucking want. That was the reparations. Reparations was the fact that we can be honest about what has happened to us. And white people can't be honest. So the fact is, white people are sitting there going, man, I can't say nigga. How the fuck we gonna stop niggas from saying nigga? Now, I'm not gonna say that Bill, the fucking cable guy, is doing this and thinking of this. But I'm saying at some point, do you believe that white people are gonna let niggas run around doing shit that they can't do? So what happened was, we will trade you one Imus and one Michael Richards for the fact that you can't say nigga no more. And we're going to invent a euphemism for nigga that I'm going to say way more than I ever said nigga in my life, which is N-word.
Yeah.
But the you keep saying was pushed by Jackson and Sharp. The you was pushed by the NAACP, burying the... That wasn't... White people didn't push that.
That's why I got mad. Because that's that whole thing was irrelevant, out-of-date niggas dealing with irrelevant, out-of-date white people, and that's who's doing shit now.
Me and Patrice have to go to the old racist home.
Because
I feel as irrelevant as you do.
Al Sharpton made a deal. We're going to hear what the deal was. Get rid of Imus. Get rid of this motherfucker. All right, we trade you two big white icons. Here's what we want. We want a couple of goofy niggas on MSNBC to read the news. And we want black people to not be able to say nigga if we can't. And the radio.
But why is it if we can't though? Like, why is it still a white person pushing it thing? Like when you look at rap lyrics, Sharpton and Jackson, those guys were targeting, which is why I was so aggravated at rappers. They were targeting it way more than white society was. The white people got mad about the cop killing shit, but with the word nigger was all black people pushing that.
The only place you heard it was like in a bar somewhere. It was like, well, if they can say it, why can't we say it? That's where you heard it from Whitey.
Yeah.
But then everyone else, Jim's right, it was fucking Jesse.
It was those guys.
Didn't I just say that, though?
Yeah. No, but you keep saying it. If we don't say it, you can never say it.
But it's not. See, again, I'm saying white is... Look, I said this a million times. The thing that makes us angry, and a lot of us don't even know it. See, Jews... The thing that was good about the Holocaust, and listen to me,
Jesus,
I don't fuck that, man. Just if it is Jews listening and ready to say something, I know
where you're going.
Even back in the pyramid days, Jews had a villain. It was Pharaoh, and it was Hitler. So you can look at a motherfucker. It was so much Hitler that a motherfucker can't even have the Hitler mustache. It was names. It was Himmler. It was Heydrich. It was Rommel. It was fucking Mengele. It was a bunch of motherfuckers. These motherfuckers and their cronies who were the villain.
Right.
Black people, when we say white, the color white is like the mustache, except for there was no crime ever committed. There was no crime ever said to be done. It was, we're going to own you. Now we don't. Goodbye. All we got left is your skin color. I don't look at you as an oppressor. White people, when I say white, it's vague. It's not even you. I wish I could move on. Not every German is looked at like a Nazi. Because Nazis were defined. Whiteness was never defined. And as far as the world changing, everything is internal, man. You have internal changes. When the fuck has there ever been an internal change in this country in terms of how we feel about each other? I don't like being a villain, man. I don't like feeling like a villain no matter what I do.
But there's been this huge change over time.
Yes, internally.
In your own lifetime, there's been a huge change that I see. I see it on the...
Can I ask you a question? If you're a golfer...
On the streets.
If you're a golfer... a white guy golfer from 1910.
Right.
And then the fact is that somebody decided now niggas can golf. Where's the change other than niggas can golf?
The change is that it's not this thing where we need the National Guard to every time Tiger Woods tees off.
But it's legislation
people
and
love
that's change.
But people going, but you act like it's just someone puts down a law. Blacks do this. All right, let's just talk on call niggas. That's not you said there's no internal change. When something like that happens,
that's what I feel they do.
But
Tiger's embraced.
White people don't look at it like that. I'm a white guy. It's not a matter of...
He was embraced by Fuzzy Zeller when he called him old chicken eating.
Okay, that's Fuzzy Zeller. And golf's a fucking shit example. You talk about internal change in a society. People having internal change. Do you really think that everyone is only going by the letter of the law? Well, we gotta let them vote. People don't feel that way. The majority of people don't feel that way. The majority of people hate seeing that kind of stuff that's wrong.
Here's my problem. There is no gray area.
You don't credit that.
No, I do. There's no gray area white people, meaning this. Either I got to deal with, and not you guys, I got to deal with fucking nigger, or I got to deal with, I've never even heard the word.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I want to deal with an honest fucking, I'm not a racist, wanting everybody to die, racial white person. I've never met a run-of-the-mill racial white person.
Who admits that black people annoy him, but doesn't hate black people.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you something.
Fair enough. I want the same thing.
Patrice, I'll be completely honest with you. When I'm driving down the street...
I'll be completely honest.
I'll be completely honest.
Partially honest.
I'll be partially honest with you.
Save a little bit.
When I'm driving down the street and I get cut off, or some Asian guy is in the car in front of me just doing that fucking 30-mile-an-hour shuffle down the expressway, I will look at him and just blurt out a horrible Asian epithet. I'm in my car. He doesn't hear it. It's not hurting anybody. I don't give a shit. It makes me feel better. Fuck it. But that doesn't mean I'm like, wow, I fucking Asians, fucking that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. If a black guy is doing the same thing, cuts me off, fucking, or some fucking little thug motherfucker is crossing against the light and doing the little shuffle in front of my truck so I can't fucking move. Oh, you damn well know what's going through my fucking head, but I'm not going to look at the next guy on the sidewalk and go, you're all fucking. I'm not going to do that.
I don't feel. Look,
so
I don't feel that black people like Oprah or I don't feel they owe money. I mean, I don't feel a motherfucker owes me their money or owes black people, but I do feel like I owe my mentorship to a motherfucker underneath me. I owe.
But how do you distribute that to people?
I don't know.
How do you then distribute? How does Ludacris then distribute that to you and say, all right, because you're talking, he made it. What's the machine? Let me in on the secret. I don't even think that motherfucker knows what the secret is. I think he just made it and went, holy shit, look at my house and my driveway. And, you know there's this machine. You know that I can't tell you how the fuck I got sitting here. I can't. When I was doing construction.
But see, white people, the beautiful thing about being white on that level is that white people get to be individual. There's nothing that you do that represents an entire group. And when an entire group is still trying to figure out their place in some ways, I just feel like that question I asked them, which had sellout in it, but I was getting at is, no, not sellout. I'm sorry about that. But what do you do different? And you go, wow, shit. Nigga, I get my feet done every week. That's all I was looking for, because you know what? That would help some nigga on the street who's keeping it real, who love Ludacris, and that motherfucker go, shit, man, every week a facial do me good, nigga.
Yeah.
That's all he owe. All he owe is to get this young man who's on the corner, man, who don't believe in nothing. Just to say, you know what? Wow, I like that group, Leonard Skinner, man. I don't know. I like that music. I like the way that you think. I like some corny shit. Yeah, I watch Yogi Bear coming up. Just a motherfucker that you think keeps it hood. Just say, look, man, I really like if you.
Maybe he does that, but just not through the vehicle of your question. Maybe he does do that through doing films and for being in an Oscar-winning movie.
That's not enough.
But no. But maybe, and he's also, again, I have to defend the guy because he has attacked in his work. He has attacked. It's not like he laid down and praised O'Reilly.
This is not about Ludacris, though. Don't. It's just because he.
All right. Do you think then Ice Cube is looked at so people could go, I could be in goofy shit and look like an idiot?
Nope.
Climbing up the ladder and falling down off the roof.
No, you know why? Because Ice Cube doesn't go, look, man, let me explain to you what's going on. Here's what a motherfucker on the street. Look, because I'm in the middle. I'm getting to the place where, here these motherfuckers come getting ready to rob me. I'm, looking at young killers like shit. And they don't know me, so what the fuck they gonna do but rob me and shit? But Cube, his thing is, they looking at him like, nigga, that motherfucker, this is what I want to stop. Do you understand? Like, look at this motherfucker doing this goofy ass out of there yet. Nigga, what the fuck? But Cube is 40-something. He's not a killer no more. He used to be a killer. So please let me know what it's like to used to be a killer. And then something happens and you're not a killer no more. And ultimately, please just let me know how to get someplace without having to be lucky enough to once had been a killer and then I rapped. Because right now, rap is the only, because he said, Ludacris said something, he goes, look, I'm a young black entrepreneur. Please just throw the other shit in there. Because I know I can't freestyle rap worth a fuck. And not everybody I know is a funny motherfucker. And not everybody I know can dunk. So please let me know. And that's doctors, that's pilots, black pilot. Nigga, talk to me. Talk to me. What the fuck? Please tell me how you decided to be because we need an us kind of thing beyond the negativity, but a positive us.
I think a lot of the things you're bringing up, though, are basic human things and not so race-based. Like the whole thing with
easy for you to say.
No, I think they are like how do you go from killer to making goofy movies like that? The guy he's in his 40s now. It's called what, mellowing with age or this. I don't think it has to do with
motherfuckers don't know about that. Good credit. Let's take good credit.
All right.
My mother had to co-sign me a truck. Okay, when the bill collectors used to call when I had no credit, didn't know what it was, didn't know how to get it right. They call and I go suck my dick. Yeah, really? I used to listen to American Idol with him. I used to be sitting there going, wait, let this motherfucker finish singing. I'll talk to you after this.
Yeah.
Get back on the phone, laugh at him, fuck with him. And then one day I looked, my credit says 7-something. And I went, holy shit. Then I had to figure out how to be a motherfucker with good credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have to share with somebody what I used to do. And then what happened, I had to get co-signed by my mama, who got her credit right by waiting 15 years. You know what I mean? A little information, man.
Again, that's a human thing. I fucking the car I slept in was repoed,
dude.
Because my credit was shit.
It's human experience, I know, man. But again, what white people can't do is, and what black people can't do either, is separate the color thing from the issue. Like, I know, dude, I know your story. I'm not looking at you like a white. You're, like I said, you're a fucking bum made good. And I say that with all due respect, man. That's what this country is bums made good. But once you make good, dude, you owe somebody something once you make good. You owe something. Not your money. You owe something. Yeah. You owe.
All right, listen, we got to break in.
You're absolutely right.
We got Ed Norton on the line here.
Edward.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Hey, man. We're having an intense conversation about black and white and race and Obama and McCain, and it's getting pretty good in here today.
Opie Anthony, Jim Norton, Patrice O'Neal. And hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. You guys?
Good. Here's what this is about. We had Ludacris come in, and do you want to when you're a celebrity, you're a big star. Does there get to be a point where you don't want to talk about certain things publicly because of what it can do to you or what the overall consequences of it can be?
You know, I don't worry so much about that, but I also like don't necessarily think that you know. I mean, it depends on how you talk about it. I think
you got to sacrifice a bit of honesty. Is that
No, I just think, you know, I don't always think that my opinion is necessarily what the world needs. You know what I mean?
I don't think that.
That's a good point.
Because there's this credibility issue, I think, is kind of what we were talking about, where people now Ludacris, especially now, working his way up to being in movies, doing movies, and it seemed to Patrice like he's kind of not being as honest as he used to be in order to keep that bit of celebrity and success going.
Well, let me make sure you're not because it's a dangerous thing to miss. I don't. It's not that I'm saying he's being dishonest. I'm saying what is it that once you get to a certain level in this game, I just want to know what it is where you just can't say shit. That really impacts. And you talk about having an opinion, Edward. It's like your opinion does need to be heard, because in this business, perception. So, because I'm just a crazy, useless motherfucker talking, because I'm perceived to be nothing in the game. But a man who got respect, Oscar nominations, this, that, your opinion is valuable. I
don't think it's less valuable than anybody else's. But I guess my point is, only thing is I try to make sure I'm actually informed about what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because people will ask you your opinion for a lot of things, and I think sometimes people reflexively answer. They'll just answer just because they got asked, and not enough people say, you know what? I don't really know enough about that to speak with standing on it. But you know, things I feel like I know enough about, I'll give a perspective on. I mean, I agree. Like, look, you know, we're in some perilous times, and I definitely think it's not a moment for people to keep quiet. I agree with that.
Like you're cautious because, like, you know, you're Edward Norton. You know people are going to ask you and listen to things you have to say about subjects that they wouldn't listen to the average person about, regardless of how informed you are. Like, so you're more careful about answering because you don't want to...
I also think, you know, on some level, you just got to be careful. Like, people give you a platform for one set of reasons. It doesn't... It's great. I think, you know, I'll tell you something I admire about Barack Obama very sincerely, which is I think he very sincerely holds within him the notion that people with a different view might actually have a point. And I think there's a I don't think it's a political posture with him. I think, having known him a little bit, I think he's a guy with a... It's really interesting to me that conservatives want to, like, slap the radical label on him, because he's actually... If there was ever a quote-unquote liberal that conservatives should be comfortable with, he's the one, because he is a very measured guy. I don't think... I've heard him say, you know, you shouldn't go into politics if you think you're the revolution, and I think his... I think as a listener and as a person who genuinely takes in the notion that the opposing side might have a point, he's someone, I think, he's a real model to me of kind of listening with respect to the other side of the conversation. So
you're saying that, like, just from what you know about him, he's not a knee-jerk reactionary guy. He will actually weigh options as opposed to a lot of politicians.
The furthest thing from a reactionary guy. I think it's very interesting to me to hear conservatives talk about him as though he's a radical. He's a much more measured, I think, politician than what we've had. I mean, if radicalism is what's gone on for the last 8 years, that's radical. That's ideological radicalism.
Do you think he's going to win?
What's that?
Think he's going to win?
I do, actually.
Now,
I really do.
Based on what, Edward?
Based on the fact that I think that, you know, you can only sucker people the same way for so long. You know what I mean? And Americans, we may be complacent because we're comfortable, and that makes people lazy and complacent and kind of more inclined to just kind of go along with what's been going on. But on the other hand, Americans, I think, Americans, we may be slow to kind of perceive, you know, the ways we're getting hoodwinked and bamboozled. But once we do, I think Americans have a real righteous kind of anger at being suckered, and I think that the emperor's clothes is off this particular set of lies that we've been being fed for a while, and I don't think he's going to win by a landslide, but I think people are kind of recognizing that we're not as dynamic as we used to be, and
I don't think he's going to win.
You don't think so?
Based on the fact that there's 200 million white people in this country, and I don't think enough are going to vote for a black president. That's why I don't think he's going to win. And again, that's why I think maybe I'm outdated. I think that you need a lot of white people to walk in and push a button for the black president. I think it's easy.
I think he's got that, though.
I don't think he does. And I think that if you're in Los Angeles or if you're in New York, maybe Chicago, and I don't know, Alabama, where there's a lot of black folk.
They took Barack over Hillary. White people had the choice, and they took Barack over Hillary very strongly.
But this is based on the fact that you believe in this system. And again, some shit I heard that bothered me. That's why I'm trying not to pay attention, because I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be upset. Is the fact that the Bradley effect. The Bradley effect, where motherfuckers lie. They say, I'm going to do this, but they're not going to do it. And it's 100 people representing the entire, like Nielsen ratings. It's one goofy family in Ohio representing what I watch.
I think that there's going to be, there's a lot of interesting things at play in this election. I think that there's no doubt that it's going to be a real referendum on how much the country's grown up or not. I mean, I think with conditions in this country as bad as they are, if those kinds of prejudices prevent us from making a dynamic change when we need it, it's going to say a lot about who we actually are, and how much we have actually grown up. And I think that's true. I think it's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see. I think it's going to be a very revealing. Which way, it's pretty wild. I mean, it's going to say a lot. Whichever way it goes, it's going to say a lot.
Now, you know Obama? Have you hung out with him?
I did. Well, I interacted with. Hang on one second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I interacted with him. I work on low-income housing issues and stuff like that. I interacted with him when he was first in the Senate on some of that kind of work, and I was really, really very sincerely impressed with him. I thought he was a very unvarnished kind of guy, very self-aware.
So you knew him or had interacted with him before he was on the national stage?
Very much so. I thought I was very, very, very impressed with his intelligence, with the measured way that he listened, and he was very, very. He seemed to me to be a very, very, not even just a deep thinker, but a very good manager. He just seems to me to be a guy who knows very well, effectively, how to use the skill sets of the people around him, and I think that's a huge, huge asset for someone. I mean, people keep talking about experience. Like there is not a person on the planet who's ready for that job. That's just the truth of it. Nobody is ready for that job. It's that job is beyond anybody's experience level. I'm much more interested in somebody having a sense of the times that we're living in, and having and being able to articulate a vision for who it is we're aspiring to be in the years ahead. I think most of the best presidents have done that, have understood what the country needed at the moment that it was in, and I think that. And
is there a piece of you? I'm just trying to maybe catch up to maybe where people are. Is there anything in you that sees a black guy, Edward? Anything that you go, wow, it might be a black president, or is it all colorless?
I mean, it both excites me for that reason, in the sense that I think, to me, I'm not immune to the symbolism of wanting someone to lead us, who I think actually represents the diversity of who we are. But at the same time, it's irrelevant to me, completely irrelevant. So, I mean, it's weird. It's schizophrenic. On the one hand, I think the fact of it is there, and it's historic and exciting. But on
his blackness,
on a
right?
level, it means nothing to me.
The fact that he's a black guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Boy, you are a good actor. No, I mean, from watching American History X. This, wow.
Hey,
the curb scene took 55 takes. I just couldn't do it. Can you CGI my foot off his head?
Hey, guys, I got to jump.
Oh, damn. Yeah, we were getting a
the publicist called on the other line saying you have to go, but we didn't even talk about Pride and Glory. This movie, a lot of...
I'll call you back. How long are you guys on?
Oh, all right. You just got to go do something else for a little bit?
Yeah, we're on another hour or so.
All right, how about, call us when you can, and we'll talk Pride and Glory when you call back, Ed.
All right, good enough.
All right, buddy.
Thanks,
That's
man.
awesome. Edward Norton, everyone. The first half of the interview.
I don't agree with his politics or anything, but I think he's a great actor, and
I expect that. I expect everything that's what I expect.
But maybe it's the truth, though.
I expect.
But what's my thing is, I'm not saying you're wrong to expect it, but what's phony about it if that's Edward telling the truth? Like he's
a pretty honest answer about like, hey, him being a black guy is part of it, where it's like, wow, it's exciting and stuff.
But here's the thing: I think that him calling is helping me out. Is this when you say the same thing? He didn't say. Oh, this is what I mean. Do you see black? And something and something else. Yeah, I see that motherfucker's black. Yeah, that's all I'm at. That's why I'd asked.
But he did say that in a historic. Don't forget, he's also a guy that knew him, and he was instead of harping on words like platitudes, like it's hopeful and it's great. He was saying, yeah, I think he's a really good manager, and he's a guy who manages people around him well. He was a guy that was actually giving you tangible reasons why he likes Obama instead of some phony. I think it's wonderful.
All I want to hear is just the words that look. Fucking, you talk to me about, and just to let you know, you talk to me about Robert Blake, Beretta. This is old school shit. But the reason I thought Beretta never killed his wife.
Yeah.
Wrong, right? He goes.
I think he did.
He goes,
so did.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
But here's what made me feel that way. And then the reverse on OJ, what made me finally really believe he did it.
Yeah.
One is he wrote a book called If I Killed the Bitch.
Yeah.
If I killed the bitch, this is what I would have did. Where I go, you fucking asshole. Robert Blake goes, my wife, I hated the bitch. I wish she was dead. The wish came true.
That's it.
Is that an exact quote from him?
But I didn't do it. Which I said, holy fuck. If you're a liar, you can't even lie like that.
No, you'd be, I'm so devastated.
That motherfucker said, thank God that bitch is dead, but I didn't kill her. A motherfucker to say that to me seemed as honest as you can get.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong, but I'm just talking about do you see that he's black? That's what I mean. Either as a white person, this is the frustration. You gotta be a fucking maniac with a hood, or you gotta be a person who doesn't see color.
But he didn't. I know what you mean. But it's like a lot of times you're expecting too much out of people on a phone interview for them to just come right out and go, okay, yeah, he's a black guy and I feel this way and that way. As opposed to when you ask him a question like, do you like Obama? He's giving you a genuine answer. And when you ask the racial question, he was saying that, like, yeah, I understand in a historical context, it's great. But, I mean, it's not the main reason I like him. And I thought that was a pretty genuine answer. It's almost like...
I didn't say he was being disingenuous.
No, I know, but...
Do you see a black guy, Norton?
What do you mean?
When you see Obama?
Yeah, I see the first black president.
And you see a black guy.
But not in the... I don't know how you mean that in the sense, do I know he's black? Yeah. But when I started to like him was when I heard the answers he gave Matt Lauer, and I heard some of the answers because I didn't like him. Like, well, I want a black president enough to go for a guy I didn't like just to see a black president. When he started giving, like, really tangible answers, like, oh, yeah, he is specific. Like, you heard that, oh, he just talks in all these platitudes and whatever, and then I heard fucking Payne doing that. But what I heard him doing, I liked the answers he gave when I heard him answer directly. So that's when I started to like him. So did I see a black guy? Like I see you as a black. Of course I know you're a black guy, but I see Patrice. I don't see him as Obama on that level because I don't know him or love him. But it's.
But I asked him on a level because I don't know him.
Right.
I just asked him on a level, do you see a black guy? Yeah, I do. But it doesn't need a context. But that's the thing about all of this that is dangerous for Ed Norton, dangerous for Jim Norton, dangerous for anybody, is that the people who, for some reason, fucking assholes are in charge of context.
I see black guy first. That's what I see. When he was running, I'm like, oh, black guy wants to run.
And you don't give a fuck because you've established, and this is the reason.
Here we go.
Pee Wee Herman and Michael Richards don't have a career right now.
Yep.
Is because of this. Look,
fucking blacks.
I will never take a job for Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ultimately know at some point I'll jerk off. like
you're gonna jerk off.
Ultimately, I'll get caught jerking off something. I'll get caught doing something un-Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I know me.
Right.
So I need a job where it doesn't matter if I'm a jack off at some point and get caught.
Exactly.
He's a jack offer who set himself up to be a child man.
Yeah, one of these.
Michael Richards set himself up to be, Jerry's and he's a guy
neighbor
who in his heart can just go, nah! And he set himself up to be a liar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's what I'm talking about. If you just say what you are for half a second, no one will be able to stop you. These people won't be able to throw things in your face. What about this? What did you mean? Remember that motherfucker that said, he insinuated that fighting dogs was as worse than rape?
Yeah.
And I had to sit there and look in the air and go, wait a minute. If I see a woman getting raped on the left and somebody choking a kitten on the right,
yeah,
which do I jerk off to? Both. I jerk off to both.
See what I'm saying? I don't know. Like ultimately, we're so ready to be pushed in the corner of the ass. Why do fucking cornballs get to run? Why do cornballs get to fuck up my Ludacris interview? I really want to know that. I really want to meet him. Really want to know him. But cornballs out there, the people I don't know, the white people that's not you, make motherfuckers answer questions like zoobity-zop, zee-bop, doobity-bow. Like, I don't want the jazz answer. Just say the shit.
It's just be honest and just give an answer. I agree with you 100% on that one. It's like,
idealistically, of course, we would love that from those guys.
And there is a way to say shit. And I'm not talking about zooba-dabba-dee-bop, jazz saying shit. There's a way to be completely honest and say it so it doesn't come off nasty or anything. It's just honesty. It's like, this is me. This is how I feel about certain things. This is how I get at certain times. This is whatever the fuck. There's a way to say it where it doesn't sound like you're an extremist or a nut, but it's just you. Be fucking honest about it.
Just be you.
That's it.
Just be you.
But you're right. There's so many people just want to dance around shit and not give a right answer. I that answer, do you see, black? And they're like, no, I wasn't even. He's black.
You heard it.
It's ridiculous.
You heard it.
It's not a question.
I wasn't trying to muscle him. I'm just saying, do you see black? And he never said black.
He did fess up to it when he said, yes, him being black and being the president did excite him. That was something that he did want to see.
Okay.
He did say that.
Yes.
But then do you see color? Do you see color? That was kind of a Scooby-Dabby-Dooby-Doo.
But you may get...
answer.
I love the jazz answer. I'm just going to say that now when people ask me shit.
That's a tough question for somebody who doesn't know who's asking it or what the context of the whole day is.
Right, you don't want to get yourself
on the phone all of a sudden.
Corner,
do you see black? Well, yeah, but what do you mean by, like... we could have been talking about how only racists see black first the whole morning.
Right.
He doesn't fucking know that. All of a sudden you're saying to this guy, do you see black? He knows Obama.
Fair enough.
But a lot of times context does matter.
Fair enough. Right. Fair enough. That's fair.
Why don't we take a break?
We'll take a break and come back.
Catch a Rising Star, Providence, Rhode Island, Patrice O'Neal. Are you going to be doing comedy up there, Patrice?
Probably not.
Not anymore.
No, it's like I gotta drive up there tomorrow, so I'm hoping I can like white people again.
This is your one-man show.
My one-man show.
Yeah.
That'd be a good name for the one-man show. I want to like white people.
I want to.
Hey, that's not a bad.
And then just go off.
I want to like white folks.
Yeah.
I want to believe in you.
We want to believe in you.
I want to believe in you. I do.
Ask me if I believe in white people.
Do you believe in white people? Now, all right. Ask if I believe in black people.
Do you believe in black people?
No.
No.
No, I think we'd answer that question. Knowing Whitey, we would answer that question in death metal form.
Yeah, just, no.
Yeah.
I wish Ludacris would want to talk more about Crash. I want to talk about Terrence Howard.
He had nothing to do with Crash.
How he should have fucking...
Chris was barely in Crash.
How, he was actually really... He had a great moment at the end, too, where he fucking...
He had a few
those Chinese people go. And there was so many fucking... Matt Dillon should not have been nominated for that, as much as I like him. Should have been Terrence Howard. Should have been the supporting actor.
Dillon was fucking great.
He really was, but I thought the deeper role was fucking Terrence Howard playing that guy tortured by Hollywood and break it down and fucking fighting the breakdown for so long. Was
Crash. Not as predictable.
Crash was amazing.
That fucking movie.
Don't like it.
I'll argue what?
Patrice don't like it.
I'll argue Crash with anybody. Cheadle was fucking
irate.
Stupid rolling his goddamn Rangers. Fuck the Rangers.
And then he pulls her out of the car.
I raped you. Now I save you.
But that was a statement. No, that wasn't about him and her. That was kind of a statement about the duality of the way you look at cops. Where because Hollywood always paints the racist white cop asshole, but in this case they show you like, all right, there are this side of them, but then again, these are guys that fucking will crawl into a burning car to pull you out. It wasn't about the symbolism of him saving her. Was not him saving her. It was just about the duality of everybody. Everybody was painted stereotypically, and everybody was given redemption. Everybody. I love the fact that they show him being a fucking scumbag, because that's how you expect him to paint a white cop. And then you see the side of him holding his father, and you're like, oh yeah, there is another side that you don't fucking... Just like with Ludacris and the other dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the other dude is a fucking... They're robbing somebody, and then all of a sudden he's got the St. Christopher medal, and you see that there's a fucking gentleness to him. There's redemption for every guy. Don Cheadle, a motherfucker.
But that's why The Wire is good. That's why The Wire is a great show. Because there is no... You know, when you pitch a show in a room and you go, hey, listen, I'm going to play a motherfucker that just says fuck you, right? So where's they call it this, the comeuppance. Where's the comeuppance? It's like, what comeuppance? Where does the character, for being what he is, end up suffering? That's what I'm saying. There is no... The Wire would write a death for a motherfucker who was really, really not supposed to die in Hollywood land. And I don't give a shit about redemptions.
No, but I'm saying this is not. But it wasn't a politically correct redemption. It was. They were just showing the fact that they showed the white cop being a fucking a scumbag is how you expect it. They showed things you didn't expect them to show. Like the little girl when she was about to get shot. I was absolutely convinced she was going to get shot.
Yeah.
Because that's the big emotional scene. But they did it a different way. When Ludacris and the other guy robbed fucking them, they showed you know what? She's not some paranoid white suburban bitch who's just scared of blackness. You know what? There was a right reason for her to make that judgment.
I'll go with, here's where, only thing I go with is this. Like, I'll go with you on everything except for, it would have been cool if Matt Dillon had a finger popped, what's her name?
Yeah.
Like he did. And then... another white cop saved her. Like, instead of him.
It wasn't about...
saving the same bitch that he finger raped.
It wasn't about her, though, and him. I think that you had...
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm with you 100% except for the little girl, like the Ludacris and Lorenz Tate didn't have to rob her, the girl who was like, fuck black. Like, have another arbitrary black person do it, and then have them rob somebody who's not fucking her. And instead of
right, all these weird
6 degrees of
don't forget, it is
bug me.
Don't forget. I mean, when you look at The Wire, which I mean is my favorite show ever, you have 5 seasons of development. When you look at a movie, you have an hour and 45 minutes to get your point across. Which is when you look at a guy like Matt Dillon, they didn't want to give redemption to all cops. They were just showing you an individual, almost like a little piece. And it wasn't necessarily if he would have rescued another black woman in a fire, you would have been like, who gives a fuck? But this was to kind of make the point a little bit clear. I didn't take it as literally as that. They were showing you like, yeah, this guy was a scumbag, and he caused this rift And then they showed you this fucking turmoil that these fucking two people have to go through in their marriage because of the shit he did. That it's not just, hey, they go home and don't care about it. You know what I mean? They almost destroyed the fucking marriage. I love the fact they showed what Hollywood does to black directors. Isn't he supposed to be the smart one? Like, with Terrence Howard was fucking fighting to hold on to this thing and this. You know what I mean? It was like they really got in deep, I thought. But you had to juxtapose these people together for that to make sense. I mean, that was just... Matt Dillon.
Yeah, he should have diddled her when she was hanging by the fucking seatbelt.
And you're loving it.
I would have shown.
You love it more than I hate it. So I'm... Like, Norton loves it. His point is... Which, by the way, is why I'm... You know, Obama just because he's black. Because I don't want to be convinced otherwise. Because he might convince me otherwise. Like, cause his thoughtfulness is way outweighing my thoughtfulness of why I don't like it. I just didn't like it on just a fucking prehistoric level.
Norton explains it like an NYU film student.
Yeah, but I really just studied it. So
that movie really hit me. Like most movies don't, because you so know the formula in all. You know what I mean? It's like what did they show recently where this is how they deal with stereotypes? Is they just put a black guy and a white guy and switch them with no thought to it at all. Like, oh look, the bad guy's white, the cop is black. It's like such a phony.
Like I hated when they had Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin. I'm a big comic book guy, and Kingpin is a big bad white dude in the comics, and I don't want to see a black Kingpin. Just because why? Like I don't want to see nothing black that's like. You know, here's Negro for you. Like, please don't. I want to see white people where they're supposed to be.
Look how good we are. We actually, we know it's a white guy. It's supposed to be a white guy. We cast a black guy in this.
You know, it was another great moment. Like
Jaws will be played by a stingray.
That's fucking hilarious.
Fucking awful. Horse shit.
That's right on, man.